Welcome, everyone. Today we will be discussing the idea of psychotransformism. This concept, according to Mr. Ouspensky, refers to the psychological transformation of oneself. But what does transformation really mean? Chemistry studies the possible transformation of matter, but in this case, we are talking about something different. Nicoll, can you tell us more about what transformation means in the context of psychotransformism?
The idea of transformation in psychotransformism refers to the transformation of oneself from a mechanical man serving nature and grounded in violence into a new kind of man. The language of alchemy was sometimes used by secret schools of teaching as referring to the possibility of this transformation of man into a new kind of man.
That sounds really interesting. I have read that the teaching of the FourthWay compares transformation of consciousness with the workings of a 3-story factory, taking in 3 kinds of food. On the one hand, there is the first story for ordinary food on the lower floor of the factory. On the other hand, air as food is processed on the second floor. But I do not understand how impressions can be taken as food processing on the 3rd floor. Can you explain a bit more about that?
Yes, when we eat food, it is transformed successively, stage by stage, into all the substances necessary for our existence. This is done by our instinctive center, which controls the inner work of the organism and knows far more than we do about it. The same process applies to air, which is transformed in the 2nd floor, and impressions which are transformed in the 3rd floor. But unlike food and air, most impressions come in and remain undigested. There is no adequate transformation of impressions unless one has sufficient knowledge and understands why it is necessary.
But what would you say is the meaning of this specific idea of the transformation of impressions in the work?
In my opinion, the first realization of the meaning of this work is to understand that life, coming in as impressions, must be transformed. Most people think that external life will give them what they crave and seek. But the truth is, there is no such thing as external life. What we are receiving are impressions. Our reality is our impressions.
That sounds like a difficult concept to grasp for most people. Can you elaborate some more on the idea of the transformation of impressions?
By realizing that what we are working on is not external life, but the impressions we are receiving. Unless we can grasp this, we will never understand the meaning of what in the work is called the first conscious shock. This shock relates to these impressions, which are all we know of the outer world, that we are taking in, that we take as actual things, actual people.
Thank you, Nicoll. Your insights have been enlightening. One final question. What is the most important thing for people to understand about psychotransformism?
For me, the most important thing for people to understand about psychotransformism is that we have the potential to transform ourselves. We are not stuck in our current state. With sufficient knowledge and effort, we can become a new kind of man, one that is not bound by mechanical habits and reactions.
Wow, Nicoll, that's a compelling message. I want to thank you for your time, as I know you are a very busy man, transforming the general consciousness of the world. In conclusion, the concept of transformation of consciousness is very much comparable to forms of change in the material world. Nicoll demonstrated that the transformation of impressions, or how the world appears to us through the senses, is analogous to how the machine processes food. So from there, it follows that one has to be present in how one is digesting their impressions, as this digestion is crucial in how we experience the external world and dramatically impacts our sense of freedom and the capacity to do, leading to greater clarity, creativity, and a sense of purpose in life. When this presentation has been helpful to you in any way, please consider to like the video and subscribe to our channel, as your support is much appreciated. Thanks.